Juneteenth was this Monday, just yesterday, as when we're recording this, and over the weekend, obviously, there were a number of celebrations around the holiday. Not all of them went well. One turned into a tragedy. One person was killed, 22 others wounded in a shooting at a Juneteenth celebration in a strip mall parking lot in Illinois, just southwest of Chicago. Some police officers were monitoring the event when they received a call about a fight. The officers were headed to the fight when they heard gunshots and then returned to the celebration. We don't know what the motivation was. There are reports that they believe that there were multiple people involved, but nobody was actually caught yet. We don't know what sort of guns were used, if it had any motivation beyond personal. We don't know. We don't know the condition of the people who were injured either. All we, I guess, can say at this point is this is America, man. You can't have a holiday weekend without senseless violence. 22 people being wounded, by the way. Like, even for America, I feel like this should break through and this should stick out to people. Like, that is a massive amount of violence. That's something that was just supposed to be a holiday celebration. And I'll challenge the audience. How many of you think that people will still be talking about this in 72 hours? That's the country that we live in, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, 22 people immediately sticks out. You're like, there's some high-powered weapons going on, automatic weapons,
or a lot of pistols. I don't know. That's a lot of people being hit.
But also, like, I don't know who these folks were, and chances are, if they're Black Americans, that's the reason that it's not breaking through to mainstream news outlets. If it's a white American aggressing, again, we just love, like, we love any kind of violence when it comes to guns, except for if it's like gun violence in the Black community. And I'm not trying to pull the black on black crime. I'm trying to earnestly say that, like, there are guns throughout all kinds of communities in this country, and every single community is affected by it. So we don't know the motivation, we don't know what happened, but still, an everyday argument can accelerate and escalate into something like 22 people being wounded and injured. But again, we don't care about that unless Candace Owens trots it out as a reason why we shouldn't talk about police violence, because we should first talk about violence in the Black community.
Yeah, so look, devastating, like a person being killed, 22 wounded. That is just so many families and groups of friends that are, their life is never gonna be the same. And at the same time, let's also acknowledge, so I see people talking about, there was, I believe Beyond Wonderland, it was an EDM festival, I believe, in Washington. There was a shooting there that I believe 2 people died in. People are saying in the chat there were 19 mass shootings over the weekend. And if that is enough to break through and start another brief conversation about gun violence, what's the best that we can hope for is that some Republicans will come out and be like, yeah, there shouldn't be side doors to EDM festivals, or the EDM festival really should have had off-duty cops with AR-15s. Again, like there's no progress. Shooting after shooting after shooting, no progress whatsoever.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.